Jordan playing the flute in the middle of
the stream. Jordan Klein, bring in beats. Bring in beats. Bring in heats with the beats with the Jordan Klein beats. Yeah.
All right, Awesemo, here we go. It's your old pal EMac coming to you with one Eric Lindquist. As we get ready for NBA Live Before Lock, we have NBA locking in 1 hour. We're going to do a bonus show. I'm going to really quick say the bet of the day. The bet of the day is the, not Houston Oilers. The
Luka Doncic over 9.5.
Edmonton Oilers money line. That is the free bet of the day. But if you guys were following Awesemo Best Bets on Twitter, you would have already gotten that. Or if you were a member of Awesemo, the betting package, you would have gotten that already. But that is from Ben Rasa. That locks anytime right now. I don't think hockey dilly-dallies around as long as the NBA. What are your thoughts on hockey start times as we collect our loyal fans here?
For some reason, I thought it was Luka over 9.5. That was from Friday. The sea is silent. I guess we can maybe go back to the well on that one. It's at 9 today, so why not?
I think we absolutely do. They're going to be at home.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the four best bets on the board right now. Speaking of boards, he only got 5 or 6 in that last game, but he scored 42 points. He only has one game of the 12 he has played in this postseason where he has less than 50 fantasy points.
Pretty crazy.
That's obnoxious.
Yeah.
And so we're going to start with that.
In the NHL streets, though, first, Houston.
Oh, yes.
I almost said Houston. The Edmonton Oilers are a smash. The Edmonton Oilers. The Edmonton. Way to go, Eric. I just was reading Oilers on the sheet there. My brain went haywire. How do you not bet Edmonton and how do you not bet Colorado every game going forward? I don't know. That's beyond me. Colorado on the road they're up 2-1 now. They're going to the Blues again tomorrow. Just keep playing Colorado, keep playing Edmonton, collect money, and pass go collect $200.
Yeah, go with the McKinnon and Rant player props, especially on Prize Picks. They've been crushing them. They keep upping the shots on goal, and it doesn't matter.
Can't go high enough. Getting there. Yeah, they're playing more and more ice time. I mean, it's like McKinnon is just people who don't watch hockey. I get it. Like I watch a lot more in the playoffs, but mainly because it's like the only sport I don't cover. But I love it. I love watching it. I didn't play it growing up. I'm like the only person in Minnesota lore to not play hockey. But I feel like I want to just be betting those two teams every way from here on out. So Edmonton, bet them. Colorado, bet them until they play each other.
Yeah, I've got. Who is it? Drysdale and why am I blanking on?
You have Kane.
Connor.
What are you talking about? Oh, Connor McDavid. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Well, I had McKinnon in my head, and I could think of it.
Yeah, Kane's been playing out of his mind too for them.
Yeah,
anybody outside of a first line, I get it. But guess what? One line can win you a lot of hockey games. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, you got to look for the inline correlation, especially on these playoff showdown slates for hockey. And not enough people stack the power plays. I don't know why they don't do that.
Who gives an F? Yeah, no, I get it. We have 56 minutes to talk NBA. I think we'll be okay. Should we jump over to the PGA streets and what we just watched there?
I wasn't actually watching it, but I did end up winning. So hat tip to all the Awesemo golf people.
I almost broke even, which is like incredible. It's incredible based on certain guys that just went nuts. And I love JT. I loved Will Z, but I guess you need all the other pieces too in DFS. So that's important.
Yeah. Grizzly Adams. Not only did Grizzly Adams have a beard, he had a bear named Ben.
Somebody just said Kleba isn't playing much at the moment. What are you fucking talking about?
He played 31 minutes in the last game.
What are we doing here? People just say stuff based on the previous show. And I know, here's the thing. S. McGee, I see you here all the time. You're good people. So it's more of just like, I'm kind of pulling you out of the crowd to go at you because it's ridiculous. But like, this is the edge of playing these slates is people think that they just saw something that isn't true. Kleba played 30 plus minutes last game. What are we doing here?
I don't know, but let's start off with Luka at the top.
Okay.
How many lineups would you play before he was not your top multiplier on DK or FanDuel?
FanDuel, it would take a lot more lineups for me to get to a place where I didn't have him up there. He's 52%, I believe, in our last 52.7% on FanDuel. He is so above and away the best guy to play there. It just speaks for itself. If you want to get different, you're accepting that it's going to get weird, and you're probably in the long run looking for the day that Luka completely busts in some capacity. I would have lineups where, I would look at getting away from him entirely, perhaps because of injury, perhaps because of extreme foul trouble, stuff like that. But how could I possibly sit here and not say he's the best MVP play? If you're playing a handful of lineups, I would be willing to say I'm closer to going to 100% of him in the MVP than 0%. So just take that for what you will.
So and I agree. So I ran these numbers this morning, so they might have changed a little bit on the margins, but we had Wiggins in our projections. So I ran 50 unencumbered crunches, hat tip to Josh Engelman for that term. For DK, Luka was the MVP in all but two, lineup number 27 and lineup 41, which both had Steph Curry as the MVP. Oh, I'm sorry, that was FanDuel. Both had Steph Curry as the MVP and Doncic as the star. DraftKings, he was 42 of the 50 lineups were Doncic. Brunson got into 5, Poole got into 2, Kleber got into 1. And Luka was on every lineup. If he wasn't the MVP on DK, he was in that lineup. So I was just curious to see where it would land, because the talking point, I think, is, do you go 100% here in the captain, aside from, the in-game knee soreness like we saw with Jimmy Butler last night. And last night was a different, because, we had Brown and Butler and Bam and Tatum. Those guys are all capable of getting right around the same. They all project for right around 40-ish fantasy points. Doncic projects for 60. The only person within 20 points of him is Steph Curry. It's just this is like a Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but we play DFS where price matters too. And so for DraftKings purposes, this is kind of where I'm getting at. I think as you move up in higher dollar amounts, as you get up into, if you're going to play the 3-3-3 or whatever you're going to play over on DK tonight, if you're going to play in some of the high dollar stuff, Luka is going to be even more owned in the captain spot. That just seems to be the trend that we're seeing for him. For a lot of these other guys, whether it was Giannis in the last series against Milwaukee or against Boston, now you're seeing it in some other spots with Luka here. He's just going to be very, very popular. But as you get into these large dollar fields where you're trying to get different, trying to find ways away, I mean, he is 13.6 in the utility. Captain-wise, he's 20,400. When Luka works out optimally, it's going to be a massive split. It's really hard to make lineups with Luka that look different, that are different. So, I mean, for me, I was running a lot of crunches, and then, I had more time today because I was on the couch watching the PGA all day, but I was just running crunches where I didn't put any randomness in and saw what some of the top 10, top 20, top 50 lineups are. A lot of them zeroed out, a lot of them identical, where if you're hand building, you're only landing on those certain ones. Those are the kind of lineups that I think in tournaments we need to be inclined to get away from and just say, all right, give the field a 600-way split, 500-way split a lot of the times. And there's times where if you want to run a train or have multiple entries at a certain one where it lands in perfectly and you just like that lineup, go ahead. You can still 20x your money. That's great. But for me, I'm trying to find ways to get different. And so Luka on captain for DraftKings purposes, if I'm going to be way over on FanDuel, I'm actually okay kind of sitting around the field at 30% and trying to find other stands, other ways to build lineups that are just different. Who are the guys that are going underappreciated in the captain spot? I think there's a number of them today, especially because of what we just saw in game 2 with Luka being optimal, putting up nearly 70 fantasy points in a loss. It's going to be really hard for the field to see the recency bias aspect of that and get away from Luka captain. So I'm doing everything I can to not go over the field there.
All right. So we've talked about the captain / MVP. On DraftKings, we have some $1,000 players here, which is the minimum. We've got Frankie Ntilikina, who is at 1,000, played 5 minutes in the last game. We had Damian Lee. He also played about 5 minutes. And then just above him, we have Davis Bertans. It's not Davis, Greg. It's not Davis. It's Davis. He's European. Just throwing that out there.
Was Greg saying Davis? And I didn't correct him.
Davis Bertans. Fred
weird.
Van Fleet. Not Van Fleet. And he has one.
He's fleet of foot. Fleet.
He's far from being fleet of foot.
No.
Fred Van Elite, my spirit animal. You've got who was it? Bertans. What do we think is going to happen with Bertans? He got in because early-ish. He's going to be checking when he goes in. He's 2,600. That $1,600 makes a lot of difference. But if those are our 3 cheapest viable options, Ntilikina, Bertans, and and Lee, all three of them, there's a chance they DNP. I think they each play around 5 to 7 minutes would be kind of where they're landing. They may not get second half rotation. They could get mop up duty minutes if anything goes sideways. What of those three on the low end, if you had to rank them, or could you?
Ntilikina, Lee, and who was the last one?
Bertans.
I mean, Bertans would be much better than the other two because we at least know that he has a potential of paying you off when he gets there. In 7 minutes, he put up 10.5 last time out. Yeah. He ended up being a defensive liability. And then also Jason Kidd gave the quick hook to Ntilikina when he was making mistakes out on the floor last time out. I don't know what to make of that. Jason Kidd feels like the unforgiving type. We've seen it with Dwight Powell and Luka and his desire to kind of yank him off the floor there. And now we're seeing a spot where it's really, really thin down here. I think if I had to play one, it's going to be Davis Bertans. I do have a little bit of Davis Bertans. You also know you're probably going to get 15, 20 if he gets hot shooting in that one rotation that he's going out there and knocking down shots. But I mean, they're down 0-2. There are opportunities for like a Josh Green to kind of get thrown into the mix. They basically were throwing shit at the wall when it started going south in that third, fourth quarter. He ended up playing 5 minutes last time out. So, I mean, there's a weird path for some of these guys. You know what you're doing, though. You're playing Luka and the captain, and you're just trying to find that one performance, the one guy who can go nuts. And I could say one thing and it could be another, but I think Bertans is the one guy I trust to be on the floor the most. It's just that he's 2,600 more, and the field's rostering him more than the other two guys, other than, I mean, Frank Ntilikina as being the 1K du jour. I think I'd rather just play Josh Green and hope that it ends up flipping there. I'd rather play Damian Lee and hope it flips there in some kind of capacity, but man, not comfortable plays, more of a 150 allotment type play.
All right. Nathan Rigg in chat. You know the way to my heart. Says God, King, Emperor, Statesman, and a Gentleman. EMac 2024. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. David Porter, be careful when you look at the game logs. You'll want to look at sites that show DNPs. Kuminga did not play in the last game. I also believe he did not play in the final game of the Memphis series. He did play 5 minutes, but it was in game one of this series. Dallas has won every game at home with the exception of losing that first game against the Jazz when they were without Doncic. The over under here is 218. That line is ticked down. It's 216.5 now. I still like the under. That was the Ben Rossa free bet of the day out on the Awesemo Odds YouTube channel. I like that one a lot. How are you feeling about the game total here? And then we've got a super chat here from Jeff Williams.
The game total, it's a complete stay away from me. I had a pretty good gauge of the Dallas series. I bet them when they were down 1-0-2 last series against Phoenix. I didn't trust that. This Golden State team has so many outs of being effective every single night. Steph Curry can knock down shots. You have Andrew Wiggins, who's been playing so much better offensively, just in his entire Golden State tenure, let alone these playoffs. And of course, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson. You never know which one could get hot, but it seems like somebody's carrying the offensive load every single night. You just saw Jordan Poole be super efficient the last 2 games. Seems to be more comfortable. It's just a bigger guard, not like the likes of a Chris Paul or Devin Booker, a guy so larger frame and tougher to stop. So yeah, Golden State's just a really, really good basketball team. I'm staying away from betting spread, anything in regards to that. Total doesn't even really look all that enticing to me. I mean, this is definitely going to be an odd shopper, going over there, checking out props, playing some prize picks with you, playing, some sports books, looking at stuff with my friends over here. It's going to be a fun night in that regard, but I have no pull whatsoever in terms of the spread.
Yeah, I like to live bet those, but I'm definitely going to take the under for this one. Mm-hmm. But it gets fun. The live betting is something I've really enjoyed. I never thought
somebody actually brought up a great question here in chat, because again, we have plenty of time. We have 45 minutes and we're going to be around for half an hour afterwards. He asked how many lineups I have to crunch where Luka does not end up as the optimal. 4 is the correct answer if you're using Awesemo projections. Jordan Poole ends up in the captain of that one, which I found to be pretty fascinating. We'll get to him. We'll get to my favorite captain play on the entire day for DraftKings purposes, because it might not be who you think it is. That's for sure. Eric not play DFS tonight. I feel him on that. What? I'm playing DFS. I'm playing Dorian Finney-Smith, and I'm playing actual DFS. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. We've got a question here, and I lost it, but let me get that back. A 15-month super chat here for Jeff Williams. He has the Awesemo iced up badge there. He says 555 on DK. Would you go with Looney and Dorian Finney-Smith or Wiggins and Reggie Bullock?
I'm more inclined to go to the Looney DFS side of it. I mean, Kevon Looney, what in the world? I will say the under looks really, really nice in his player props. I'm shorting 9 just about all over the place. But from a fantasy perspective, he's 7,200 now. And it's surprising how much interest I still have. We've seen 2 outings, 40 plus. And if Golden State is going to capitalize and punish them for having Maxi Kleber on the floor from time to time, I mean, Looney just has his number right now. And it's a weird thing to say, but Maxi Kleber generally has been a very good defender throughout these playoffs, and they definitely prefer him over Powell out there. Powell with the bigger frame, but he's just so useless in the pick and roll now with Doncic. Just doesn't really help with the floor spacing and what they're trying to do. So Kleber will be out there. He'll be in the corner, opening things up just with his shooting ability, but it's going to be punishable with Kevon Looney here. He's now really expensive in spots, but I think Looney and DFS, simply because of the way I think people perceive DFS here, he's going to be a very strong play for me today at 6,600. He's really underperformed in this series relative to some of the upside we've seen in the first 2 against Utah and against Phoenix from him. But I think there's a path to 40 plus minutes. There is for Bullock too, but Dorian Finney-Smith has a couple more outs that aren't just shooting. And so I'm going to go with him and his security. Wiggins, I've liked him a lot this series, but I'm going to be a little bit shorter on him this time around.
It's the $7,200 price tag on.
Oh, I know.
That it's getting to me. The 2 games we have are outliers. He had double-digit points, which is something we don't usually see from him, and then 22 rebounds in that other one. The truth lies somewhere in the middle, but the price is saying he needs to score 35.
But here's the thing: when you ask me that kind of a question, it's like my perception of Wiggins at 33% is not very good. I don't feel very confident about that. Kevon Looney's underneath that. I mean, they're both pretty overpriced. I'm probably with you in terms of liking him a little bit more than I like Looney. But the second one, I mean, I like DFS so much more than I like Bullock today. That's the one that's going to be a little bit different for me.
So what is your main reasoning behind that change? Because I kind of view them as throughout. Let me back up. Ever since Tim Hardaway Jr. has gone down and they've really started going to Bullock for just all of those minutes, I have found him to be someone I like a little bit more than DFS. Now, I think they're both going to see a bit of an advantage tonight, being back on their home court, familiar shooting environment, etc. I think that's going to help them. I like each of them for 1.5 or more 3-pointers. I think you could. I've made this massive parlay. It's going to be glorious if it hits. I'll turn $10 into 2,700. Thank you, Odds Shopper. Well, but we'll see if I'm thanking on. Thank you, Odds Shopper, for doing the heavy lifting. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But it's one where I went. I was debating on if I was going to put both those guys in at 2 or more 3-pointers. I put Kleber in for 1 or more, and I put him in. Now I know we're projecting him for like 6 rebounds. He just hasn't gotten there recently. I still think that him getting above 4.5 is reasonable, but he's only gotten 5 like in every other playoff game, right? On average. And it's that to me felt a little dangerous for how good it looked on paper, and there'll be a question in here, but he's playing so many minutes. I like him for his rebound over, and I like the other 2 guys for their points, for their shooting ability being at home. Can you rank those guys for us?
Which guys specifically?
Kleber, DFS, and Bullock.
All right. Well, those are 3 guys that, I think going back to the 2-game slates, 4-game slates, I was jamming tons of them. Obviously, they're very important to get right in any kind of a capacity, but just because of how well at times Reggie Bullock has played, he's been the only efficient wing now so far through 2 games, but similar to, people just having the perception of Kleber not playing minutes or whatever that was a second ago. Dorian Finney-Smith has only had a 10.4 and a 10.9% usage in his first 2 games. there have been upside games. And again, when you get him right, he's getting around 19.2, 15.7, just hasn't shot the ball enough to really get there in any kind of a capacity. But his rebounding is significantly better than you're getting from the likes of Bullock. 7 and 8 in the first 2 games of this series. And that's the kind of stuff where I think in the long run, if you're going to have all other things being equal and the ownership's about the same on them, give me the guy that I'm just going to be projecting to be more involved, independent of just shooting. And that is Dorian Finney-Smith for me. So he's number 1, Bullock 2, Kleber 3, but it's more like 2A and 2B in terms of Bullock and Kleber. I think just Kleber has a lot of paths to being effective, 4,800. People end up sleeping on him just because there's a lot of games where he literally does nothing. And that's been 5 games I've been punished for being there for him. But 33 minutes last time out of the gate. Powell's just not a part of what they want to do on the floor. Again, he cripples what they want to do spacing wise. And so I think Kleber just has a better path than the likes of a Powell or somebody else down there. He's got 24% ownership next to, which is identical to Otto Porter, but for 600 less, it's weird that I'm just landing on Kleber a lot more than Porter for this slate.
Yeah, I see someone asked him, why does Powell play so few minutes, even though he's the starter? It's a strategy thing. So essentially, usually Kleber's going to be the first person off the bench. They just kind of have Powell out there because they know they're really not going to run any plays for him in the first 4 or 5 minutes, however long he's out there. He can be around for rebounds, fill the lane, get putbacks, get whatever in the paint. And then cheap fouls aren't being handed out to other people that would have to be banging down there. And then they really would rather have Kleber the rest of the game because at least he can space the floor. He is no great shakes, and at least he hasn't been in this series yet. He surprisingly was a little bit more effective when they were running him out there in the Phoenix series. So they were like, all right, there's nobody who's going to stop DeAndre Ayton. Let's try to put somebody out there who can score. Powell is a 0 from scoring. He's like Willie Cauley-Stein. He's like, these guys they don't get any plays run for them. They're there to play defense and rebound. And in the playoffs, they're just not going to get the points that you want. Right. And they could easily not play in the second half.
Okay.
That was my explanation for Powell. It's a unique, it's a coach. Would it shock you if Powell doesn't start at some point?
Yes, that would shock me.
Okay.
If he doesn't, we make massive moves to get as much Maxi Kleber as possible, but we already know he's going to be playing the majority of the minutes over Powell. They've proven to do that every game throughout the playoffs. So I don't know why that would magically change today. I know they're down 0-2, and I do expect certain small tweaks. I would expect like a Josh Green. Again, they gave him an actual opportunity to succeed last time out. And, that's not something we'd seen. He got second quarter run when they were up 3 minutes of run. He only got 1 rebound, but they ended up playing him again in the third quarter, giving him, a 2-minute stint before things went really, really south for them. Golden State went on their run, and that was all she wrote towards the end of that game. So I don't know. Does Josh Green get 5 minutes again in random rotation similar to Davis Bertans? Maybe. And that could be a huge difference because anybody who sees the floor that's going to be 1K is viable on this kind of a slate if you're going to get Luka Doncic going for 70 or something like that. So, in terms of the Powell situation, this is something we've seen forever. JaVale McGee did this all the time for Golden State. He's done it at times for Phoenix. You just get these guys who play random minutes to just start off a game and then sit on the back of the bus. There's really nothing about anything about it that sticks out to me other than Dwight Powell, if he plays well, will probably play more than 8 minutes. He's gotten opportunities to be out there and succeed, but he's just played so poorly throughout this series that it's hard for me to, throughout these entire playoffs, it's hard for me to really land there with any confidence.
All right. We got about 1,200 people watching. Please do hit that like button. We like to do these free shows for you. This helps us out. This is Sunday night. I'm going to try not to do my best Mike Francesa impersonation and fall asleep here once we hit the 9 o'clock hour because we're staying on for another EMac, 30 minutes.
EMac, a little bit of that. Oh, now my dog showed up. Oh, see, that's. I knew that was going to happen. I started snapping. You thought it was about him. You thought it was about you, didn't you? You're doing great. You're doing great, sweetie. Bye, buddy.
Are you home alone?
I'm home all by myself. Just me and the Dukers. It's the wife's birthday tomorrow, so she's catching up with her parents, and then I think she's actually going to be walking in this second. That's perfect. So here we go.
Excellent. Well, please do hit that like button. Oh, I see Stephen Leibowitz is in chat. Happy Evaldi Day. 10 strikeouts. That was pretty good. That was a little bit of fun there. I got that surprise, slightly weaker Seattle Mariners lineup. And the boss man came into the Discord and posted, hey, everybody, take that 5.5 over on strikeouts for Nathan Evaldi today. And that worked out quite nicely. So that's what you get with the Awesemo betting Discord there. BetMGM, we've got a nice little deal with them. If you bet on just $10 on the money line tonight, either side, doesn't matter who, for this basketball game. And if a 3-pointer is made, they're going to give you $200. All you got to do to get in on that is just use the promo code LBL Bets, and you will be live for that. You can also click the link below us here on the YouTube page, and that will take you there in on that promo code. But if it asks for you, it's LBL, as in live before locks, LBL bets, and that makes you eligible to get almost an automatic $200 offering. It's pretty good there, Eric. That's pretty.
I love it.
Odd Shopper, we'll talk about that because we, of course, will be staying on the extra 30 minutes there. Anything else you want to mention about Dallas? We didn't really get into Jalen Brunson. He's going to get paid in the offseason.
Oh my God.
He's looking at a big number there. Did you know his dad was Rick Brunson? I did not realize that somehow.
I didn't either.
NBA journeyman who played like 11 years for 11 teams.
In 1842 when you were in college?
No, I think he was in the league after I was in college. So
1842. Yes, lovely, yeah.
Somewhere around there. But we've got Brunson and Dinwiddie are the two main guys we haven't really talked a lot about. Dinwiddie just kind of playing that third guard role, but Brunson doing some nice work on the boards, looking good with some assists, and now he's getting the field goal attempts. Clearly, he is the number 2 option in that offense. How are you liking him tonight? Yeah,
8,400 for him is a lot different, and people
and
don't.
When you can get who is it? Was it Poole? Sorry, and I'll let you go. I think it's Poole. Is at 60. No, it's someone's at 6,400. That is a good counter move off him. Sorry, I shouldn't have stopped.
You're okay.
The answer to that.
It's okay. No, go ahead and interrupt me. It's great. I feel good about it. You're loved. You're fine. Jalen Brunson, 8,400. We're looking at 8,600 from last game, and you're really sandwiched between Clay, Jalen Brunson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green. And so for me, it's just really kind of recognizing the ownership game. And we have Draymond Green projected for 31.5 minutes right now at Awesemo, which is correct because there's just this massive foul problem that I don't understand why Draymond can't keep his hands to himself. He hasn't even played 30 minutes in a game yet in this series. He's losing his mind every 5 seconds, arguing about officiating, whatever else. There's ejection risk, but you know what? That suppresses his ownership to a ridiculous degree. And eventually, I mean, Greg kind of jarred me the other day on Friday when he said he had Draymond Green projected for 40 minutes. I could not believe he said that, but it makes sense that if you assume that he doesn't get in foul trouble, that Draymond Green is going to be on the floor an absolute bunch in this spot. If you look at everybody else that's being projected, Jalen Brunson is 5 minutes more, Klay Thompson around 7-8 minutes more, Andrew Wiggins about 6 minutes more. That makes Draymond Green the most undervalued guy in the range at his current ownership if you assume he can one time stay out of foul trouble. This is exactly what we were talking about with Jaren Jackson Jr. Maybe not as good of a fantasy point per minute guy with the likes of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and such on the floor, but still a 1.05 fantasy point per minute guy on the season in the playoffs. I think there's massive opportunity for him to have double-double, triple-double type bonuses here. I'm going to make a pretty aggressive stand with Draymond Green being my favorite captain play on today's slate. On the road in Dallas, maybe the shooting goes down a little bit for the other guys around him and he has to create and do more here. But assuming he can get 35 plus minutes one time in this series, which shouldn't be that far-fetched of an idea, now is the time to invest. And he's literally, 600 less than Jalen Brunson. He's 200 less than Wiggins, who are projected a little bit better than him, but I'm just going to look at lower ownership on Draymond Green, and I'm willing to make that the big stand on whether or not I make money tonight.
I totally agree. I did not hear Greg say that. 40 minutes is a lot, but my analysis, I'll even drop the link to the free DFS building blocks article. We'll put that in the chat for you guys. But I said Green's coming off poor performance where he fouled out for just 28 minutes. If he's not in foul trouble and this game is competitive as expected, he should see between 34 and 36 minutes. In the playoffs, Green is averaging just under a fantasy point per minute. So with a little luck, he could hit 40 fantasy points tonight.
With a
similar way of saying what Craig is.
And some tenderness.
Oh, there we go.
Hold my hand. It's fine.
Jeff Williams, another super chat, 555 still. He's tweaked it. Steph and Powell or Wiggins and Looney.
Say that
I
again.
have to Steph and Powell or Wiggins and Looney. I've got to go with the second.
I mean, the Powell play for me is so egregious today. I get it. He's down there cheap, and anybody who's going to play minutes has to be considered. But you just saw 8 minutes for a guy, and it's not like we're getting him for 1K or 2,600 here. He's going to be around what, 12%, 11% owned? I mean, I have 4% as it stands right now out of my 80 lineups. I don't really see myself wanting to do any more than that. Also, somebody said, send me a head-to-head for playing Draymond. If you're playing cash right now in Showdown, best of luck to you in NBA cash. It's going to be slim pickings, my friend. It's going to be a tough sled. So, I mean, I'm playing tournaments, and Draymond Green, he's a straight out tournament play for me that I want to get to. But Steph Powell, I'm going to go Wiggins Looney simply on principle that I don't want to play Powell.
I think that's fair. My cash game lineup. I picked up one person's head to head because I wanted to build one of these out because we get these questions all the time. Luka, Brunson, Draymond, Otto Porter Jr., Maxi Kleber, and I had 3,200 left, so I could have gone with anybody. I ended up going with Davis Bertans.
Yeah, Lucas Price has not gotten to a place where he's not your captain spot. Like, he's still your captain spot. So don't get cute with it.
I'm running 40 lineups. 59% have Luka as the captain. That's approximately double where we have the field. I suspect the field will be higher than that tonight, though.
I am with you in believing that.
I think 45 to 50 is about right. There'll still be plenty of people doing something different, but it gets harder and harder. And this is where sometimes our projections, when you've got these guys, like I keep bringing up Lamar Jackson because it's a perfect example. When you get the guys that are like that, just the whole field gloms onto them. And it's really hard to project because everybody's like, oh, that's where the field is. I want to go higher. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy till it equalizes about 30% higher than where it is. Not 30 raw percentage points, but about 30% more of whatever the number is. Kick that towards it. Is probably what you'll see. They would like you to freestyle later.
Just because I did Hold My Hand by Hootie and the Blowfish, that transitions to rap.
Have you ever seen Darius Rucker? I have not seen Hootie and the Blowfish.
No, I've never seen it, but I would love
Hootie.
To. I love him.
I saw Hootie and the Blowfish first ever reunion back in the Ryman in 2019 in Nashville. It was pretty fun.
I dig that. You know what? Nice. If you get us to 1,000 likes, I'll play the guitar at the end of the show. But it's got to be 1,000 likes. That's not going to happen. So basically saying it's not going to happen. It would take 1,000 likes, and I would play guitar at the end of the show.
All right, there you go, chat. You've got.
There's no way it's going to happen. Yeah, please don't freestyle, Eric. I'm not going to freestyle. I freestyle more to annoy everybody than to actually try to rap. Very aware of my overall inability to do so. We got the starting lineup: Doncic, Brunson, the exact same starting lineup for the Mavs, so nothing changed.
Yep, Curry, Thompson, Wiggins, Green, and Looney.
Same thing there. Looney continuing to start.
The groove is in the heart. The groove is in the heart.
Groove is in the heart. If you had to have one uncomfortable fade, like who's the guy that you're getting to the least that you think could burn you the most?
Oh, that's gonna be Steph Curry.
Why in my brain is it Spencer Dinwiddie? Like, why am I have like 0 Spencer Dinwiddie?
I have 13% Spencer Dinwiddie, and I don't feel bad at all.
See, I have 0, and I'm wondering if I should have a little because it's a 1-game slate, and he's played 22 and 24 minutes, 17 points in game 1, 4 in game 2, but had 3 stocks to kind of buoy the fantasy production. What in God's green earth? Oh, did somebody just put in crap stuff here? Somebody put something terrible in. You're going to have to get banned to the outer world, Dan Foster. You've been sent to the shadow realm.
While you're doing that, we have a super chat here from Brandon Wagner, or is it Wagner? Let's go with Wagner. Flight of the Valkyries. It's a little more interesting. So Brandon asks, what are the ownership numbers on Wiggins, Looney, and Draymond in captain? Since he did that for a super chat and we don't have free content today, I think we can give that out. So let me go over here to Awesemo I will click on that page. This was updated
I got
47 minutes ago. And we have Luka at 30%. We have Wiggins. Oh, we didn't ask for Luka. There's
Wiggins, Looney, and Draymond. Stop giving away the free things. How about that?
Wiggins is 6. Looney is 4. And Draymond is 5.
Okay.
So very low. Very, very
Draymond captain. Let's go. Please be the night for Draymond captain.
I think it's quite interesting. New to the Bet MGM, how to use the LBL offer. I believe when you sign up to Bet MGM and you got to deposit because you got to play $10 on the money line tonight. And when you deposit, you can use the promo code LBL bets, and that should tag it with you. Or if you click in on through our link, that probably will also feed it as well. For those of you that want to get this Awesemo stuff all the time and you've never been an Awesemo member, this is the perfect time for me to remind everybody that we have a terrific deal for new users. The promo code is NBA Live. You get 50% off your first month of Awesemo Plus. That's Awesemo. That's everything. Keys to the kingdom. Half off. Promo code LBL. Promo code NBA Live. Sorry. Promo code NBA Live. I was kidding. The other promo code's confused.
All right. You're a liar.
That's a pretty good deal. No, because it turns out that nobody lies anymore. There's just no need to ever tell the truth because it's fake news. I've learned that.
Do you know Jordan Poole's 6,400 on DraftKings? We should probably talk about that.
No.
It's a real thing, EMac.
No.
Again, dementia, I know, is kicking in. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. 6,400 is so different. He's the guy whose price has changed the most from game to game. I think we have to at least acknowledge it and say that Jordan Poole is going to probably be at 42.8%. He's the second most popular play on the entire slate. So figuring out what you want to do with Jordan Poole, I'm going over that number because I don't know how you don't go over that number. I have him projected for almost 28 fantasy points. We have him 27.6 at Awesemo. There you go. Another freebie for you. But second most popular play, I am far more inclined to play a chalky Jordan Poole to get access to Luka Doncic or Steph Curry in captain spots than to jam a lot of Jalen Brunson at 8,400. Yes, they're 8 points away. Yes, one's a little bit lower in the utility, but in terms of captain, especially Jordan Poole being the third most popular captain is not what I was expecting for this slate. Might be getting less there, a little bit more in the utility for me.
Yep, 6,400. He made the article today for that exact reason. You get a nice discount to him, and compared to Jalen Brunson, you're paying for it with about you're getting a 15 to 20% discount depending on your side of choice. About the same discount in projected median outcome for points, but I think that's worthwhile. It gives you a little more flexibility. I like the build where you go with Doncic and then 3 of the 4 other key Golden State Warriors not named Steph Curry.
Yep, Tim D, I agree. Poole not captain worthy. I mean, you could have some shares, but I don't want 10% of him in the captain out of 80 lineups. That's just a lot for Jordan Poole coming off the bench, and Draymond Green stays out of foul trouble, and they're showing that Jordan Poole can be a defensive liability from time to time, and they have to take him off the floor at times when it's not very ideal to do so if you own him in fantasy.
Manny C says EMac and Kingquist, it works through a series of hieroglyphs.
God, you guys are the best. Cool. You guys are the best.
Thank you, Manny.
Hieroglyphs? Hieroglyphs?
Isn't that how
show me your age? No, it's
show me your hieroglyphs on the screen.
No, it's more like maybe? I don't know what. I don't have like an Egyptian. Everything I know about like Egyptian, like the cadence is like from The Mummy or Moon Knight from Disney Plus, which isn't as good as I was hoping it to be.
Walk like an Egyptian. That's the cadence. You wanted to do songs. I set you up perfectly, Susanna Hoff with the Bengals. Gorgeous, still gorgeous. No,
don't tell your wife.
She's in bed.
Just waiting for EMac to come cuddle. Waiting to
We're
cuddle.
Netflix and chill.
Just with a big glass of bourbon waiting for you next to the bedside. Maybe
I'm swiping right. See what Chad has to say. They say I'm woke.
Oh
AF.
Man,
woke AF. I'm kind of tired. It's like my bedtime. I don't know how I'm woke.
Oh man,
I think I broke Tyler.
Tyler's having more fun than he was expecting to on this show. That's for damn sure.
That was actually
hopefully you
funny,
all are
too.
EMac. 1.2K of you guys. Eric snitching. I'm a snitching. Snitches get stitches. We're not about that life. We're not about that life.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right. Anything else from Dallas?
I mean, that was the Brunson conversation, because again, he's 8,400 and he's fine. He's just a utility guy as well for me. I'm playing him in Poole a lot more in the utility as a result, like Luka, but I said I'm not going to get over the field on it because it just feels like the path to being the path to being different is just so tough to find with some of these Luka lineups that I keep building and looking at and sifting through. I mean, just sorting through some of these and trying to find ways to get different with him makes it very, very uncomfortable. I mean, I'm leaving $2,000 on the table even with Luka because, you know, you just go from where you would click on Powell, you go to Josh Green or Damian Lee or any of those guys we talked about. Like for me, that's the path to getting different. You can't find any other way to roster captain Luka and really do that. So for me, it's a pretty heavy stand on Draymond Green in the captain spot. He's my highest owned captain by quite a ways right now. Well, relative to their ownership, excuse me, because I don't have 30% up against Luka, but I have 24% Draymond Green in the captain. He's 5% currently. That's just going to be what hinges my night and where I think my path to getting different is.
All right, chat like that. They're having a good time. They like that bit. What were you and Greg were talking about boating or something the other day? Docking?
Boats and hose. No, we weren't talking about any of those things. That's not a thing we were talking about. Prestige worldwide. Why? You actually got that. That impresses me.
I don't even want to know why I know that. Somehow I know all these horrible, like rusty trombone and all those things. Do you ever like it used to be funny way back in the day? I can't even think of the name. Urban Dictionary.
Yeah. The upper decker, something like that.
Yeah,
it's just not good.
Like
bad stuff.
Things.
It's bad stuff. We don't need to
rusty, get there. Just there are all sorts of horrible things. It's not.
I agree. This shit ain't funny. You know what? It's not funny. It's not funny. We're not trying to be funny.
The hot Carls to Cleveland. Why? I hear those things once, and it's like the bad myths and mistruths of like, oh, if a dog licks your wound, it'll heal faster, and stupid shit that everybody tells you. You hear it once and it becomes gospel, and it's just not even remotely true. Tip that like button. Obi-Wan says, tip that like button. I don't even want to know what a dirty Sanchez. Yes, that was the one.
Are you Googling this right now?
No, I'm reading chat.
Oh. God,
that was like this one. Oh, Donkey Punch. That was another
one lineup. Klay Thompson captain is just fine. Does Klay Thompson have a large range of outcomes in terms of scoring? Yes, he does. Is he going to be lower on than Brunson because you project Brunson for a little bit more than Klay Thompson in a lot of spots? Yeah, he probably is. So again, it's all relative to the other way people perceive him. Jalen Brunson and Luka just had massive games even in that loss. I think they're going to end up being very, very popular, and I don't want to be going overboard in terms of their captain ownership just because I want to find ways to not be splitting with a zillion people here. Draymond one time, Klay Thompson, just fine with that play as well.
Virgin Quest. That's a new one.
That's not very nice. It's not true. I mean, I don't know.
I don't want to know what a Spider-Man is. Don't corrupt innocent.
Goes to Google. There you are. That was fun. This has been a real informative show. Just wait until the next half hour. Oh my Lord. We're gonna be in some weird places. Yeah, Tyler, don't put other things in the chat that I need to look up. I have no idea what that is, and I don't want to know what that is. I'm not even gonna say it out loud.
Houdini, it's got to have something to do with finger cuffs, right? No? The Eiffel Tower? No?
Are you trying to make this the most uncomfortable show in the history of my Awesemo experience?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, well, congratulations. We've gone up right to the cusp of like, I don't know if I can talk to you in public when I see you in person. Like
salad. That's a good one.
Please stop. Can we talk basketball? Please.
Yes. Over under Otto Porter, 24 minutes.
Over under Otto Porter, 24 minutes. I mean, Can we just set it at 24? Why do we have to?
Because the answer, you were supposed to pick one, and I was going to tell you wrong, because the answer is 24 minutes.
I don't know. What did he play? 24 and 23 minutes the first two? Yeah. Thanks for the great analysis there. What, project him for 25 minutes? There you go.
Sorry, you don't know, JD. Poole or Green as the last man in on FanDuel. This is a single entry. Going with Poole leaves $1,000 on the table. Going with Green zeroes out his lineup.
Yeah.
I think leaving the $1,000 on the table will be, you know what? I don't mind going with Green. There's enough people that dislike him.
Here's the thing. I love his analysis. I love him on TNT. Whenever he's subbed in on that, he's great. I think he's a great Twitter follow. I think he's one of the whiniest, he's just really brutal to watch from time to time, because every single time I'm like, why does he get away with this? And everybody else would be teed up 48 times to the moon if it weren't Draymond Green. It's like he gets his first tech out of the way in the first quarter, and then he knows that he has free reign to say whatever he wants. It's pretty awful, but that's the same thing that I feel about sometimes Patrick Reed has that in golf. Sometimes it's a baseball player that has a bad juju around them. They end up coming in lower on than they probably should be. And plus, there's very obvious data to show Draymond Green should play a lot more minutes if he doesn't get in foul trouble in this spot. So I am all aboard that. I love seeing people hate, don't play Draymond, don't play Draymond. How about this? What is Draymond? Can you pull up like what he would be? I want to know his triple double numbers. I want to know like single game parlay, if there's something we could do. I know Greg had something that he had posted earlier today.
So here's what I did. So this is what Greg had to say on Twitter. He broke it out, and this was on FanDuel, but the only one I'm signed up for is DraftKings. I can't pull it up right now because I've got Zoom open and it won't let me because it thinks.
Because you live in the dark ages. That's cool.
Because their geolocation doesn't like when I'm doing any sort of screen sharing.
Geolocation.
But what I did do is I made that part of my 13 leg parlay is I took eight points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. But Greg pointed out that if you took his triple double numbers, you're actually better off doing a same game parlay and doing the each of those as a category. I liked that, was able to go down a couple in each of the stats and basically get the same number that you would have for his triple double. It gives you a little bit more wiggle room, and that's part of my crazy $10 turning it into $2,700. We'll see if I can be a news guy tonight with my parlay. But that was his. He has. I thoroughly enjoy listening to him talk about this, and I know I pester you with questions all the time about the game. You guys have an entirely different way of looking at it that just is completely foreign to me, and I've been able to speed up just light years without running into having to learn all these expensive lessons on my own. You guys are just giving away freely all this great
information. And we have 12 minutes to go. I hope you guys all kind of know where both EMac and I stand on certain players today.
For Dallas, same lineup for Dallas. That's always been.
Yep. I said but they were both the same, but I don't capitalize so much on what I think is going to happen. I capitalize on what other people think is more likely. And then I do the opposite because public's wrong a lot. Ownership is wrong a lot. Like, we have to find ways to get different. And when we talk about leverage scores, that's really the key to the game. Like, just because a team goes for 10 runs in a certain spot doesn't mean that, I knew that they were going to go for 10 runs. Well, cool. Did 40% of the field come along with you in Coors, or did 2% of the field that was playing Cincinnati and Petco go nuts? You know what I mean? Like, there's leverage to be had in everything. So when we're talking about DFS here, I want you all to be profitable. And I think if you're trying to be profitable today, the best way to be profitable is probably playing Captain Luka. And you could maybe 3 or 4x your money. If you're lucky, you could hit the absolute nuts and hit 20x, 25x if that lineup ends up being optimal. Because the majority of the time, I think that's going to be optimal. I am choosing to go completely against that because I think it just ends up a little bit more owned relative to its chance of success in the long run. And when I get things right, or when the field gets things wrong, and my lineups are right as a result of it, I get paid big time on the back end. We're trying to finish first in this stuff. And, I don't completely avoid duplication at this point. I think it's inevitable at a certain point, but it should still be a large part of your process to be like, how can I get different without getting stupid on every one of these slates? And in NBA, it's much harder because of how projectable this is. But that's where you have to click on the likes of a Moses Moody could be it today. A Josh Green could be it. A Damian Lee could be it at 1K. We're talking about 3 guys with massive risk by rostering them. But if you get it right the one time and it ends up being optimal with Luka, you make a lot of money.
Sorry, I was just looking at paid big time on the back end in Urban Dictionary. It's not in there yet.
That's what you come back with after that.
Well, after you said put those particular words together, I thought we were back on the other topic. I thought
Powell's starting. Wow, yeah, he's continuing to start because they just are doing that. That's how they start games. He plays 4.5 minutes. He either plays well and then he shows back up at some point, or he doesn't and he disappears like he did for the first quarter and a half, or the next quarter and a half of the first half, and then he played how many minutes? 3 minutes in the first half before they said, "You got to go." Bye.
All right, Sean V and Antoine Murphy both agree that Draymond is a horrible play tonight.
I can't wait. Oh, God. Thank you. Thanks, gents. Oh, talk dirty to me.
10 minutes to go.
Yeah, let's go.
Before lock, my lineups are
Start
uploaded.
the games.
Good. What do you what time do you think
who's your highest owned captain that isn't named Luka Doncic?
That is not named Luka. That would be, it's basically a tie. Jordan Poole was in with 7%. So whatever the math on 3 lineups, Steph Curry, Brunson, Wiggins, and Green, and Kleber and Ntilikina are all tied. Like 2 apiece.
Tim D. Oh my God, should I captain Draymond now? Yes, because, misery loves company. Either this chat, me, you're going to be in love with me, or you're going to hate my guts by the end of this. Or it'll just be a decent play and Luka will go for 70 and it won't matter, but you're going to be not, there's no chance to win 150K in that kind of a result. Like I can't imagine a spot where Luka ends up captain and it's not duped. Like it would be very hard for me to imagine that at current prices for everybody.
Yeah. Who's your best play on FanDuel, 9,500 or less?
Yeah, FanDuel has some interesting stuff as far as the structure goes over there today, because Draymond is literally the 6th most expensive guy there. You said favorite under 9K. It's got to be Kleber at 8K and Dorian Finney-Smith at 8,500. Dorian Finney-Smith is the smash at 8,500, but he ends up so popular on FanDuel. He was really popular last slate at that number. He's going to be really popular again today. But there's really nobody underneath there unless you try to go to like the 6K flat Moody type play. Davis Bertans is 6,500 and gained like 17% ownership because people were just jamming the top end guys. Like it is bonkers what you're looking at for some of the way that the rosters break down over there. Dorian Finney-Smith is going to be very popular for FanDuel purposes, but those are the right 2 answers. It's him and Kleber.
Right, 8 minutes to go. For everybody who's mad at Draymond, you should go watch.
Game hasn't started,
and see about everybody being mad about Adebayo.
That went well.
Everybody hated it, and he did my play. Jalen Green or Jalen.
Yeah, my highest owned captain yesterday was Bam Adebayo, and you know what?
Yeah.
I also had 100% Jimmy Butler in the utility. So good times. I know.
Did you try to make it up on any second half like player props?
Yeah, I did. And you know what I did is I lost Jordan Klein money because I was like, we got to get this on Prize Picks. We got to slam. Because it was like 19.5 or 20.5 for Jason Tatum fantasy points second half. I was like, smash the over. We got to go. He had 2 actual points in the second half. PJ Tucker put on his big boy pants and went to work last night. I mean, I don't know if anybody watched that.
Nailing his shots somehow.
That was one of the more
they were going in.
Dude, PJ Tucker is just a dude you want on your team in playoff ball. Like you just want him on your team. Look what he did. I bet Milwaukee would have liked him and Dante DiVincenzo for their run this season. They made some really questionable moves. They moved DiVincenzo to get Ibaka sitting on the bench. Does anybody realize that? Like that's so egregious. I can't even. They thought they needed depth, and then Brook Lopez comes back and was playing like really good basketball. Really would have been nice to have DiVincenzo.
What did he miss? 60 games though, or whatever. If they didn't,
I don't know. It was a really thin acquirement of Ibaka. I thought, especially if you're not going to be able to play him when you get Brook back. You got to at least have DiVincenzo there.
Yeah, Ibaka's the 0 on offense. Anyway, let's talk about tonight's game for our next. Then we'll talk 30 minutes about whatever we want. We'll talk odds chopper. It'll be fun.
Love it.
Time. Final thoughts. Who is the player you're terrified you don't have enough?
He said it's weird because I don't think Spencer Dinwiddie's like a particularly good play at his prices anywhere. He's 9K. But the thing is, he's just not going to be popular. And we're going back into Dallas, and he's a guy that has gotten extra run when he's playing well. And so he's never going to project out particularly well at his current numbers on either site. But that kind of makes me want to like find paths to get him. I think in the next 3-4 minutes, as I'm talking through some of this stuff with you guys, I might try to get a little bit more, but I had 0. I'm saying that I had 0 before. So that just kind of makes me want to inherently find some paths to get to him. Steph Curry and captain is somebody that I'm always scared of getting to, but I feel like if I can get up to Luka, just get up to Luka over Steph. And so if I'm trying to get different at captain, I'm falling down into that Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins type tier and really kind of taking some of my larger stands with them than trying to get to too much Steph. Cause it's just, again, Steph is just another guy that ends up being very, very popular. Can he go out and nuke a game? Sure can. You shouldn't be fading him in any scenario ever, but just makes it so much easier to get up to Luka. There's a reason that one's 30% and one's 12% at the captain spot. And I think it's kind of appropriate.
All right. Gee, we're only 722 likes away from Eric Lindquist playing guitar at the end of the show. You guys got 30.
Are we really? No, we're not.
Yeah, we only
How many likes do we have?
Likes.
Yeah, 200 away if you add 600.
Yeah, there you go. We need the bots. Send in the fan bots.
Send in the clowns.
Don't say that, man. Don't say that, man. They listen. I'm like 90% sure. If we start getting hit with the bots right now, I'm coming after both of y'all after the show.
Josh is a Chinese spy. That's the
honestly
magic word.
Some of the funniest shit ever, though. Like some of the highlights of my Awesemo tenure is watching people deal with that, especially when I'm not involved in it. It's just like, even when I am, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's good. That's good. All right. 4 minutes to go. Use the promo code. What promo code should we give them? Let's say LBL.
That's good.
And LBL bets on MGM. Get yourself $200 in free bets if you put $10 on the money line tonight. That's promo code LBL bets. Promo code. What is why do we keep changing our promo codes?
Because we got to mix it up. You got to know which shows, which promo.
NBA Live.
You got to make sure
I'm throwing the link in chat too.
Thank you. Yeah. There we go. Look at that.
Because I'm also confused on what to put on screen for the people, EMac. So it's going in chat for the link.
Yeah,
people.
that's helpful. So that link will get you to head on over there to the Live Before Lock offer. That is going to be explaining the MGM promo code. And it's all written down there. It's very helpful. All you got to do is click on their link. It automatically takes you in. You register. I'm doing it right now. You register to MGM, and then you can get bet $10 win. Oh, actually, it's a different offer tonight. Bet $10 win 200 if either team hits a 3-pointer. I thought it was either team scored. So put $10 on the money line tonight. You're pretty much going to get $200 back in free bets, and you may even win the money line bet. That's a pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty epic. It's good.
2 minutes to go before we talk a little bit more about Odds Shopper. What is your best bet tonight?
Oh man, it's hard to get away from this over. On Prize Picks today, you got 9 flat for Luka Doncic in the rebound department. BetMGM's got it 9.5 plus 110 on rebounds. Luka's going to have a lot of rebound opportunity. He basically is the only guy underneath a lot of the time. Lots of 3-point shots. So yeah, you get some longer rebounds and you get some wonky type scenarios like last game, and stuff happens where Luka isn't going to end up getting to 9.5, but you're getting plus 110 on it in that kind of a regard. Like just fire that up every single time if he's going to be under 10 rebounds. The other one too, if you're looking over there, 27 for a fantasy total for Draymond Green. I'm just smashing the over of that on Prize Picks as well. So best of luck to me in that nature. I am putting my money where my mouth is, quite literally.
You'd rather do the 27 fantasy score or the 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists?
I'd rather do the score because of the stock upside from him. I think I'd rather do the 27 fantasy score.
Because basically it's saying the same thing. It's saying he gets 7-7-7 and a block and a steal.
It's better than 6-6-6.
The neighbor 6-6-7, the neighbor of the beast. All right, so I'm going to make a card too, and this is Odd Shopper, but I can't log into the sports wagering sites, but I can't when I'm on a Zoom, but I can log into Odd Shopper. That's Odds Shopper. It's an Awesemo sister site here. You click on that. You click on NBA bets in the upper left corner, and then you can click on NBA player props, and it will show you all of the props. You can sort it by a variety of orders. Off to the left, you can filter it by your different props. I usually like to click points, rebounds, assists, and threes, just to make it a little easier for me. And then from there, you can see what the different things are that are going on. And then these are up until the tip-off time. We're trying to fix the feeds. This is where it's frustrating. You can still wager right now on the sports books. You can still wager on Prize Picks up until the actual tip-off of the game. What do you think the tip-off is going to be tonight?
Which network is it on?
Oh God, whichever one's going to make me.
That's the secret cheat code.
It is. I bet it's ABC. No, it's TNT tonight.
Oh baby, they're going to start 6. 06.
All right, so I better get in my Luka over, my Draymond Green over. I'm going to do Dorian or Kleber. Where are we on Kleber bets? You want the 4.5?
I like Kleber. I already talked about it. I said 2A, 2B. Bullock, Dorian, Finney Smith, him. They're just always in play.
No. For bets, for sports wagering, 4.5 rebounds. DFS.
Yeah, that's decent enough. I mean, it's not going to be. I mean, it's more of a Prize Picks type play at that kind of a number than what it would be for sports betting. I mean, what's the expected ROI on that on Odd Shopper? It's got to be sub 25%.
For 4.5, it is 63. Oh, that's the winning percentage is 63. So it's It's probably around 25% ROI.
15% just found it there. Okay. Yeah, it's just low. It's not a guy that you want to be betting. Oh, hang on, we got the counter. It's saying 8:30 we have left to bet over on Prize Picks. So if I had a guess, I would say that 09 is the best guess that we have at this point for when the game will start.
8. I thought you were saying the time 8:30, not 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
No.
I was going, but it's 9 o'clock here. And then I'm like, wait, what math is Eric doing?
What year is it? What year?
I'm sorry, Francesa. What? Oh, yeah. Go with those Mets. Broadway Joe. It's a hell of a guy. Ladies.
Hey, Joe.
Gentlemen.
Where you going with that?
Broadway Joe, gentleman and scholar.
I like it.
EMac, who would be your three? Who would be your three favorite dead or alive artists to go see of all time? We did this last show with Eric, but
I think Where and the Experience is such a, like, the more I thought about it, the more underrated part of it. Like, again, I want to do like a music festival and be there so I can see multiple bands, but I would be at the site for that one specific band. So I'd pick like Woodstock, Jimi Hendrix. Like that would be a lock.
I was the first one that came to mind was Jimi Hendrix. The next one is Elvis.
I'll accept that, Eric. You would go to Woodstock, but only see Hendrix because of and I get that because like I would want to go to a Bob Marley concert, but like in Jamaica, you know,
Hendrix,
you got to pick the
Sun Coming Up, Star Spangled Banner. That would just be like epic.
Would be.
That would be it, right? I mean, that was the performance. Elvis, maybe Fat Elvis in one of the Hawaii shows. That'd probably be good. Not Fat Elvis in Vegas. Rather do the comeback show. And then maybe the Beatles. I hear they're pretty good.
The Beatles. Something like that. I don't know.
Aerosmith. Top priority of the summer. All right.
Be all right. Tickets. I'd be down.
I've seen Aerosmith, I think 3 times.
It's 3 more than me. Did the game literally just tip? It tipped. Let's go. 03. Damn. 03. What planet are we on? Is this real?
That was fast. Wiggins missed a shot to start off the game. Ooh, first bucket. I bet it's going to be Reggie Bullock.
Wait, did you already see it? Or
no, because I'm only watching the ESPN.
Kevon Looney got a steal. There you go.
Luka Doncic missing free throws already.
So it's going to be a Luka free throw, first point, first bucket.
Different than first. Does that count as a first bucket? I've never.
That counts as first
Does
point.
It really?
Yeah, first basket. Yeah, first basket bet. Luka free throw. It would be a pretty. I would imagine it's a decent. Not the favorite. I think it would be either a Steph or a Luka bucket in some capacity, either a 3 or a 2. But free throw Luka has got to be up there as one of the worst results for the casual bettor who likes those.
Is the worst result?
Yeah, it would be horrendous. because a lot of those people bet like Reggie Bullock 3 or Klay Thompson dunk or stuff like that. And Luka making a free throw and first basket of the entire game, Kevon Looney there. But technically, I believe the first bet is graded for the free throw for Luka, which would really kill a lot of people's value.
Yeah, that would have made me very, very sad.
Yeah.
Because I got to read the rules, I guess. You got to read the fine print on these. But I'm gonna go dabble on BetMGM. It's gonna be my second sports book I open up here.
By playing NHL on FanDuel. That's from 8Game, who's just winning everything. I might tomorrow because it's an actual 2-game slate. So we don't have many of those left in the NBA or NHL streets. So I gotta get something going over there for the 2-gamer.
You didn't play today, or you were busy with that?
I played the showdowns, but I didn't play any of the full slate. 3-gamer would have been nice, but I knew I was going to watch golf and I knew I was going to be looking at this, and I did the MLB show this morning, so felt a little bit more appropriate not to go completely overboard.
Yeah, the one nice thing is in the playoffs is you knock on wood, usually know who the starting goalie is going to be, even though they don't confirm it till the end. Whereas the regular season, it's such a crapshoot up till the end. That's why I didn't have a problem playing it today, because I think it was a 1:30, 3:30, and 8 o'clock were the lock times. It was pretty spread out.
Dude, Jordan Lockhart with the golf screenshot again. My dear God, this man.
What did he post this time?
Oh, just posted. He had 11 tickets in the 4,444 DK Millie Maker. He ended up turning that into 100K profit, 163,000 for the week. Looks like he had about 55 maybe in entry fees for the week. So nice little 110K profit in the golf streets. Decent enough.
Is he going to quit his job managing the sales?
Oh no, he might acquire Awesemo at this point.
At the car dealership, or is he going to buy the car dealership?
I was going to say, just buy all the cars and all the dealerships. Dwight Powell on the board for a bucket. Steph Curry out there getting offensive boards. Kevon Looney 4-1. Oh, but Kevon Looney's going to suck this game. No, he's not. He's a part of this rotation. Draymond Green simply said, I want him out on the floor more. So that I believe that to be what's happening. And also, once Kleber gets on the floor, I mean, I don't know if anybody else watched that last game, but it was pretty punishable. I mean, he was just punishing Maxi Kleber on the boards. It was brutal. I got to assume Dallas probably shows up and has something to do to stop it, but they're down 9-5 already here. Get Kleber in the game, please, God.
Did you go back and look and see what Powell's plus minus was?
I can't imagine there's anything that I would care about less than Dwight Powell's plus minus in 8 minutes, but he's got to be horrendous.
No. I don't mean I meant just like he's -4 right now. I mean, it can be quite deceiving in the short.
Exactly. Part of it too. I mean, they had a really hot start last time out. Last game, I think Dallas got off to a really early start in that 4.5 minutes he played. Let me pull up the old popcorn machine here again as we're going through it. I can tell you exactly what he was. Dwight Powell was +4 in the box in the plus minus, but he was +5 in his first rotation, that 4 minutes and 23 seconds that he played there. And then the next shift, he was neutral. And then there was he played 40 seconds at -1 in the middle of the fourth quarter for God knows what reason.
Probably what came into rebound or something on a foul shot.
Yeah.
All right.
Look out there again. Free throws. Come on, Draymond. Let's get going. There's a board. He's on the board.
Has wiped out the Golden State up by 4. This is they're really up by 6 because got them with 2 earlier today. I don't do this as well as
Powell
Greg.
with his
He's
second.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about?
Andrew Wiggins, 3-pointer. No Andrew Wiggins.
You're way behind me, aren't you?
All the money.
Yeah, you're way behind me. Grow up, Peter Pan. Count Chocula.
Doncic 5 points.
Yeah, he's
Draymond Green with just 1 rebound.
Kleber checking in at 8:49. Let's go. Stay out of foul trouble. Play 36 minutes. But Kleber didn't play any minutes the last game. What? You and I have different definitions of what a lot of minutes are. More than 30 qualifies as a lot of minutes when that's more than half the minutes available in a basketball game to play.
Pete.
Did we daddy likes
says,
ownership? I have no idea what any ownership is. If we want to play that, if we want to go back.
Yeah, let me pull up I'm not on FanDuel, but I'll pull up the DK. What is it tonight? The $8.
The $8 on DK. No, it's
the
$15.
What is I don't know what their big one is.
It's NBA. It's the $20 on DK.
I was on hockey. That's not gonna help me.
It's like the $8. I've never heard of an $8 for the showdowns. That would be awesome. I would love that. I could actually max it. That'd be cool.
The first one, not the first. For baseball, I thought the first one was $8, and now they're all 15 or 20 for the Sunday night showdowns.
Mm-hmm.
The $20. Okay, here we go. Download the CSV to make it easier. What do you think Luka Doncic is in captain? Awesemo had him for 29.
I'll just say 29. I mean, that sounds perfect to me. I thought it would be rated 30.
31.
Okay, so even tiny bit higher. What's his utility?
I'm going to put a filter on here. Data filter. Doncic.
What I keep saying about Looney. Sean V, I was with you. I don't know when you said that I didn't like Looney. Looney's going to just murder.
Oh, 84%. Oh, so it just shows you the aggregate. So 84%.
Luka up to 3 boards already, I believe, too. Well on our way to the 10 there.
Who do you think was the second most popular player?
In the captain spot?
Just overall aggregate ownership. The CSV file doesn't break it out.
Second most popular play. I mean, we talked about Jordan Poole and his price dip. Is it Jordan Poole?
It is Jordan Poole.
How popular?
60% of all lineups.
What? That's a lot. That's a lot. What was his captain ownership? Jesus.
I'd have to go. I wish they would have that here. You ask me these great questions, and I don't know.
Look up to 4 boards.
Kevon Looney is 5.5 in captain. Doncic was 30. Oh, there. That's how they do it. Okay. Kuminga was 7.3% owned. Powell. What do you think Powell was?
I mean, 10%.
It's 12.5. Good.
Okay. But our ownership had him perfect.
Steph Curry.
That is incredible. We had him at 11.1%. That is incredible. Steph Curry is going to end up drastically underowned. I get that feeling. It was hard to play him in captain. I think he probably ended up sub 10% in captain. What was he projected for captain? He was projected 12. He's going to be sub 10%, but then utility, he'll still end up popular because people still want to play him. They're the public. I'll just say 40% of everything, Steph Curry.
Yes, you're correct. 43% in the field. Oh, you're a little low. 43% in the field, 7.5 in captain. But your process towards getting that was correct.
Let's do it. He was 11-4. You just get up to Luka, and he's the better play. But 7.5% Curry is. It's kind of scary to know that that's the number. But then you have Kevon Looney already 8.5 fantasy points on the old DK on DK
Moses
Live.
Moody.
Moses Moody, 1%.
Moses Moody at $1,000. I don't even know the last time he has played. He did play. He played in the last game. Played for 10 minutes. Moses Moody is 8.7%.
I would rather play.
That is more than Ntilikina.
That is bonkers. I think I had 2%, but
I did have not
what?
Any. I don't want to. Yeah, holy cow! He's more than. The
Mavs are just getting manhandled. Kevon Looney is a dude today. Again,
what do you think? Looney's ownership.
He's that guy.
7,200.
30%.
31 in the field, 5 in the captain.
Yeah, our ownership was outrageous. I'm literally just reading off ownership.
I figured.
We had 27.4% for Kevon Looney. That's just like perfect. Davis Bertans is interesting. What do we have him for? 14.8.
He's at 20. I think the way the chips were falling there, you had enough for him as the last man in. Mm-hmm. and you didn't need to go down to the $1,000 guys.
Holy shit. I just pulled it up here on FanDuel. This is just insane, some of the ownership over here, too. I mean, Luka, 88.3 with 76.4 in the MVP. That's legitimate. Klay Thompson, just 11.9% in the star, but Looney, 16.3% in the pro. If you had told me that it was going to be a meaningful playoff series, and at any point, Kevon Looney was going to be 16.3% in the pro slot, like, I don't know, a week ago, I would have thought you were freaking bonkers, like out of your mind, you know, kicking back on grandpa's old cough medicine type stuff.
Do you think they're sad that they drafted James Wiseman now?
Yeah. How could you not be? You that was obviously a mistake. And it has nothing to do with the injury. I mean, he could have progressed. He could have been better, but
it has to do with that. I think you always take the best player and figure it out.
Exactly. You should have taken.
They should have taken Ball.
Yeah. And then you take Edwards. You know, Minnesota. I will say I feel drastically better about that decision now after the playoffs this year than what I did coming into this season, because I thought there was no doubt in my mind LaMelo Ball was the guy you wanted going into that draft. He proved it his rookie year, and then there was some massive. He ran into a wall at the end of the year. I don't know why, but Anthony Edwards did not.
All right. Hat tip to Bro, $20 for the EMac 2020 General Fund. If you guys have not listened to the High Stakes podcast by Neil Orfield, you definitely want to do that. You can get the Bro episode. He does a great job of talking how he utilizes Fantasy Cruncher to create groups for each of the games, and how he does it when he listens along with the Awesemo shows.
He's so good.
Very helpful. Yeah. It's a lot of smart people on that. And I think he's one of the smartest ones. So hat tip to Bro.
Yeah. I mean, between him, Alex Baker is the OG. He taught us all how to do this thing. And then there's guys that are just running with it. I mean, Bro, he's just doing it in every sport too, for the most part. It just seems like, see him at the top of everything. I mean, MLB, he's been smashing for a while. NBA, I don't know if he's been in the NBA streets lately, but yeah, it's just disturbing. So thanks for the $20. We'll make sure EMac gets, I don't know. Do you want some prune juice before bed? What do you need? We'll send an Uber, or we'll send a DoorDash to you.
You already ate your applesauce tonight, EMac. Remember that.
Yes, with sprinkled with Metamucil on top. That'll be good. Get that fiber.
Draymond Green, 2 rebounds. I need more than 2 rebounds out of Draymond Green. This is not going
so
well.
What do we got? So OddsShopper is talking about that real quick. So right now we have the NHL props that are available. We've got the NBA props, and we're working, and soon there will be MLB props that are up there. But you can still get our MLB props page on Awesemo.com that has home runs and it has pitcher strikeouts. So that's helpful. But it helps you shop for the odds. You can look across the different sites. You can find not only what has the best line, meaning the over under for the player props, but you can also see who has them more the juice on it, which is costing you more or rewarding you more just by choosing among the different DFS sites. And surprisingly, usually, and Greg's always good at spotting these really quick, in the mornings, they tend to be less aligned across the sports books when they put up their first sets of numbers. Again, they're limiting. We're not going to have to worry about it, but they do kind of, you're not going to take in $5,000 on these wagers. So they're not as worried about it. They'd rather have people being active with their accounts, but you can get a lot of value if you just kind of know what the overnight lines ought to be. Offie talks about this all the time on the NBA strategy show because he's good at figuring out what the overnight lines ought to be. And so he looks first thing in the morning and looks at game totals and game lines because he did the minutes and projections and all of that, for years at back when he was at Fantasy Insiders before he came over to FanVice and now Awesemo. But he's a really, really sharp guy. Those are the guys you want to listen to get your leg up on the sports wagering. And if you go to oddshopper.com, the sister site, there's There's little tutorials. There's helpful betting articles each day. There's stuff talking about the different sports. There's links to the videos for the Awesemo Odds YouTube channel. They've got a bunch of evergreen content. The they being Lofty does a lot of it. Ben does a lot of it, and it's helpful. They talk about what is arbitrage betting. What is a teaser, and that's something you'll really want to get into when we have football coming back around again, because it's a little easier to understand for football than it is for basketball or God forbid baseball. Baseball is a hard sport to bet, aside from strikeout props. I like the strikeout props, but check out OddsShopper. It's all free. You can even set up your own account that will allow you to track your bets. It's kind of fun.
I got abs. Yeah, I can't even talk about baseball betting today. It was so disturbing. 9th inning, AJ Pollock ruins my home run train. I had the home run I got. I bet 4 home run for Judge, 4 home run Ohtani, Trout, and somebody else. Had the whole thing, sent you that. I was like, oh, this is automatic cash. And then top of the 9th, Aroldis Chapman comes in. AJ Pollock, the only guy available out of those 3 White Sox batters on Prize Picks. What does he do? He hits his 2nd homer of the season, because of course he does. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he do that? Stupid
Good
game.
times. Good times. All righty. 10 minutes to go here before we're walking off. Anybody has any questions about sports wagering or just anything in general, or I've got Prize Picks up. We can talk about them. I think if you're in a state that does not have sports wagering, there's a good chance you're going to have Prize Picks available to you. They are doing everything within the realms of turning themselves into a player prop sports book than anything I've ever seen. It's fun. It's innovative. The new one that they've launched, as Eric was mentioning, they put together groups of 2 or 3 players and you half a home run, yes or no. Yesterday I got who did I have? Hunter Renfroe, AJ McCutcheon, and Mike Brousseau was one of those. Eric was talking about those today. That's a new twist they've put on it recently for golf. How many birdies per round? What is your over under for strokes, greens in regulation? They had one other one. I had a hard time understanding those stats. I had to look up what greens in regulation meant.
Oh, come on now, EMac. So basically,
but I wouldn't know. I know all the other stats.
That's true. I don't follow. So it's just the shortest.
I didn't know what regulation
meant,
that it's 2 less than par. I did not know that.
Yeah, in regulation. There you go. 2. So whatever the par is, you got to be on before you would 2-putt. Yes. So even if you hit it on in 2 on a par 5, that's still a green in regulation. But it can't be a green in regulation if you miss the green on a par 3 whatsoever. There's no such thing. If you miss the green, you don't hit a green on a par 3.
And that was one I wanted to be careful with, because they had some par 3s on there that were their greens in regulation. I didn't understand that, so I had to figure out why I lost those bets. It's usually good to read the rules first.
Is this guy victory lapping that I got Draymond Green wrong in the first 7-8 minutes of this game? We're at 8 minutes into the game. I mean,
hey,
theoretically, the most important part is he has
Sean
0
V when the
fouls.
V is for victory lap, and the V is also for vanish, because he won't show up for a couple shows after he gets something really, really wrong. It's very, very multi-purpose. Or it's 5. Yeah. Sean 5. I don't know. I'm the only person in the world that has a "What Would Sean V Do" t-shirt.
Why do you have that?
Because oftentimes I have to ask myself, what would Sean V do?
Is it just a picture of the trolls? Is it just a picture of
some people say, don't you remember the WWJD bracelets from a gazillion years ago? Well, sometimes I have to ask them, what would Sean V do? And then that helps guide my decision.
Eric's from South Dakota. He definitely remembers those bracelets.
My little brother actually. So I mean, he was when he was playing like on the
ask
JV
Eric
golf
to show
team.
you his promise ring.
I don't have a promise ring. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So that's an egregious. That's an egregious take. A promise ring? Why would I ever do a promise ring? You know what?
I'm sorry. A purity ring. Purity ring.
Purity ring. See, you ruined your own joke. You fucked it up. I award you no points.
But it's true based on your reaction right there.
See, which finger is my purity ring? Sorry. I was trying to figure out where it was. I couldn't find it.
Oh, good times. Good times.
See, now you're stealing my lines.
WWSVD.
Draymond just missed a 3. That was the biggest sweat that was the biggest Draymond Green sweat I've ever had. He's 0 for 2 from the floor. 0 for 3 from the floor now. 0 for 2. 0 for 2. Frank Ntilikina checked in. So out of the doghouse. Draymond Green rebound. He's now got 3 and 1. Y'all are tripping. Just get ready. Just get ready. What would Sean V do? WWSVD. That's kind of funny. Draymond Green. Draymond Green.
I will wear my What Would Sean Be?
Hey, golf
t-shirt.
only. Hey, golf only.
Next show.
How about this promise ring? Let's go, Draymond. I can't believe I'm cheering for this guy. I don't like him. I just think he's a good real life basketball player. Obviously, he's that. But then at this point, Andrew Wiggins got the tip. I thought it was Draymond Green. They just took his bucket off the board. He still has 4 and 1. That's still a good start. I'm going to take it just to see how it feels.
It's a good game.
5 minutes. Luka, 5 boards. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. My name's Eric.
Is the movie really called Maverick?
Yeah, Top Gun 2 Maverick.
Rock.
Pete Mitchell. I'm familiar. Penny Benjamin. I'm excited that Penny Benjamin is no longer going to be an off-screen character. She actually has a role. Jennifer Connelly.
There you go. Carlos Manso. It's okay if EMac Brunson wants an Eric. Yeah. I saw your comment earlier too. I make old jokes with EMac because he allows me to, and he hasn't yet hit me in person because we've never seen each other in person. But I'm sure when we do, he'll probably do some stupid like whoopee cushion thing. Like I just imagine at the Awesemo party, that would be what he does. Just
I'm gonna come out and stalk you in LA. I'm gonna at some point go out and visit my
Excuse
cousins
me?
that are out there. Yeah, well, now that I've seen Jordan Klein's View, I'm definitely gonna go stay with Jordan.
Yeah, you want to do that. You're gonna want to do that. We're gonna have to go watch some basketball here soon over there. It's fire.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, that just the view, and then there's the whole deck, outdoor deck. This thing looks like a luxury apartment, a deluxe apartment in the sky, if you will.
What would a basketball team that Luka Doncic had any help on look like? Be scary, right? If you gave him like a Devin Booker or Chris Paul type, even just in the same way
my
that they
first
have
thought
each other.
was Showtime Lakers.
Oh, dude. He had a Porzingis that just didn't work out because Porzingis can't run a pick and roll effectively unless he's just clogging all the space. Like if you watched Kristaps Porzingis run the pick and roll in Washington, he basically is just like flooding into a guy and then would post up a dude who's like 9 inches shorter than him. And come playoff time, you can't really do that. So Dinwiddie knocks down a 3. Frank Ntilikina on the board. He is now your 1K du jour, I believe. Or was he like 2,200?
No, he was 1K.
Yeah. So now he's your 1K du jour.
And Damian were $1,000.
So did Ntilikina end up less popular than Moody?
Yes, he was I think 5.9 and Moody was 7.2 or whatever it was.
That is insanity to me.
That is, in my opinion.
Wow.
Does he get 2 rotation stints or does he just get 1?
Moody basically kind of won in the second quarter is what you're assuming you're going to get here. But again, there's no guarantee.
Because he usually doesn't play in the second. Yeah,
that was the whole reason that I liked Davis Bertans was like, I know at least he's going to touch the floor at the beginning of the second quarter. Like that's going to be what happens.
Right.
Frank Ntilikina checked in first. Yeah, it's whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. My God, Kevon Looney back in there. Just, it's insane. Steph Curry rebound, Steph Curry bucket. Steph Curry 8, 4, and 2. Hi, how are you this fine evening? Good Lord. Just outpacing Luka Doncic right out, but Luka up to 6 boards now. That is a healthy amount. Hopefully you guys smash the over of 9.5 with us.
God, he could get there in the first half, knock on wood.
Yeah, you literally could. Up to 7, 6, and 1.
See,
useful.
Last one I wanted to look at was where did the Bullock 0 for 3 from threes. Well, at least he's shooting them.
Yeah, we've had better moments in our lives than that. That's for sure. Draymond Green, just 3.1 fantasy points. Didn't see 2 turnovers in addition to 3 and 1 to start off his day, but here we are.
All right. Well, we are basically at the end of our show, but this is Awesemo. So, of course, we're going to do this all again tomorrow. We've got all sorts of shows coming up. At 10 a.m., you get the NBA Strategy Show with Lofty and Adam. At 11, the MLB Strategy Show with Terry and Eric. At 4:15, Mock Draft Mondays continue with Matt Saboka and Nick Lepre. And then at 5 o'clock, MLB is back with Eric and Neil Rich Guy Orfield. And then the NBA coverage is tipping off at 6:30 with the usual deeper dive live before lock shows and a 30-minute bonus show as well.
Luka from deep to end the quarter, 25-22. They cut that lead exponentially. That was a crazy close to the half or to the quarter. It was incredible. Also, Sean V, EMac and Eric are an entertaining combo. Need this combo more often. You're welcome, Sean V. You're welcome.
I'm going to go find the t-shirt and set it on my desk here so I have it for next Sunday.
It's embarrassing. But we love you, Sean V. We love you. It would not be the same without you, no matter what Josh Engelman says.
Very true. Very true. All right. With that, we're going to get on out of here. You can follow Eric on Twitter at Eric Lindquist. I am at EMac DFS. And of course, it is Awesemo_COM. With that, gamers, shout out to Tyler, the producer, and good luck.